Wow, it's still recording. The battery life on this thing is amazing. But if you see what happened is that, first of all, it doesn't work. You need a lot of wood to load that. And first of all, that's the wrong way to load, because the front again has a very big overhang and it doesn't leave enough room to move far enough forward. Because I look at my center, and the center of the machine, was still way off, you know. The center of the machine was still way off the center of my trailer, and all my compartments for chains were blocked, and it just didn't work. And this thing just keeps breaking everything because it's so heavy. We put a narrow, I don't know if it showed in the video, but he put a very narrow like 6x6 or maybe 4x6, and it was sitting on one board on the trailer, and as soon as the tire of this thing went on that board, the board on my trailer and the floor just cracked, you know. And then no matter how much stuff we put on, it keeps scratching on D-rings. Like, D-rings are really you know, an obstacle here. So one D-ring fell victim, and the guy said, well, that's a good thing, it's not, that just shows you that's not a very good weld. He says, imagine you go down the road and this thing just falls off. And I said, I used them for a year, they don't fall off. But no, it's not exactly destroyed. I just need to the frame is not broken. I just need to re-weld it. So now we haven't even loaded yet, and now I have one broken board on the trailer, and I got one destroyed D-ring. Well, the one D-ring that needs to be welded back on. And also I got, what else I got? I got yeah, one other D-ring got like really scratched over here, you know. I don't know, maybe that one has to be replaced because it just might be weak now, you know, because this machine was like riding on these D-rings, and we didn't even went, like, you know, the ones in the front. I have 4 D-rings where my compartments are, and that's where it's very difficult to lift this machine enough to clear them. And underneath it has all kinds of compartments, like open floor, you know. And once you think that, oh, it cleared it, and then there's a floor, like, and it's still like this, you know, and that edge of that opening in the floor just hits the D-ring. So basically, I think half of the revenue that this trip will generate will go towards fixing the trailer. Well, the board is, I don't know, $100. Then I'm gonna go to the trailer shop and they'll just replace one board. But the thing is, on this trailer, for some reason, I only have the entire 26 feet. It's only 2 boards. But I guess there's bolts in there. They can just cut it and replace maybe 6 feet. I don't know. Just it's gonna look weird, but you know, you don't see it under the dirt. But that's what happens. Like, this thing Now imagine if it's 80,000 pounds, and it might be heavier, so each wheel puts 20,000 pounds. And so if you put something like very narrow, it doesn't work, you know. So I don't know. Anyway, the plan now, I said, let's take 5. Like, I'm exhausted. We've been doing it for what, like 2 hours? And now we're gonna back it up, which is gonna be more fun. But I'm gonna turn the camera off because I think I'm gonna start overheating. And now I have to sift through. I have to sift through, you know, 2 hours of material, which I'm not exactly willing to do. But anyway, so that's what happens sometimes, you know. At least the guy helped me, right? Because when I went to grab coffee in the morning and I came back, this machine was just parked in front of my trailer. And I thought, what, they expect me just to load it by myself? Like, one person, you cannot do this. Because one person has to drive, another one has to guide him and look for where to put some extra boards. So it's really complicated, you know. But I think backing it up will be better, because now the machine will scratch pavement with the front, right? We just need to raise the rear. I think we need more blocks, you know. We don't have, like, this thing, all these pine boards, I just spent $100 at Home Depot. They're useless, you know. They just break, like, and actually it even broke one of my big boards that I use for, you know, when I put the bucket of the excavator down. Even that one is broken in half. So I don't know. I'll probably be here, and we're not even loaded yet, right? Loaded, and then I have to tie it down. Well, I think tying down will be the easiest part, you know, because this thing has like markings everywhere. Chain, you know, like a picture of a chain. Tie it down here. It has so many holes in the frame, and this machine is one solid steel, you know, like everything is solid, so you can put chains everywhere. So chaining I don't think chaining will be a problem. It's just that I don't really want to damage my trailer any more than it is now, and I don't want to overload the truck, because the way we did it first time, it was just too much weight on the front. I could see that. Anyway, I'll show you, I'll update you guys once this thing is on my trailer, and hopefully without, like I said, without more damage. Well, a quick update. I'm still inside the truck, and you can see that the trailer is empty. So one board is broken in the front over there. You see that? That's the crack. So but I need a new 6-foot board, and that stupid machine is still over there. And so, to put things into perspective, right? So I drove 1,800 miles. I think it's more than that, 1,850 from Texas. I burned about $1,000 of fuel, and I ordered permits. And all permits except the bridge, the Peace Bridge, are issued. And actually, Peace Bridge, I just got an email. She says, Peace Bridge denied the application, saying that I cannot be heavier than 19,000 pounds on my drives. And I'm like, what the? And Peace Bridge is always, you know, giving me headaches because of this. It was much worse when I had the Kaufman trailer, because the spacings were 54 inch. Now I have 60. They don't bother me about the trailer. Now they bother me about the truck. You know why? Because first of all, the spacings, they don't like the spacings 52 inches, and that's the typical between axles. They like 54, and that's what my next truck will have, 54. They don't like the wheelbase of 244, which is actually legal in Canada. And my wheelbase is 244, and the front is 14.6. So basically, I need a longer truck and longer spacing between axles. But that's just a secondary issue. The main issue right now is that we couldn't load it, even though we found a bunch of boards the guy was nice enough. We just drove inside and found a bunch of, you know, boards and like in garbage containers or just lying there that they said it's okay to take them, you know, just to get loaded. Like we got a bunch of 4x4s and we stack them together and it just doesn't work. Like once we hooked up lots of boards, the machine, and yeah, and then we started backing it up because there was just not enough space in the front for the big nose. I need the nose to be facing towards the truck, otherwise there would be too much weight on the truck. And so the poor guy turned around and we started backing, but of course when you back, it's much more difficult to control the machine, and plus there's a incline in there. I don't even know why we're loading there. You know, I only dropped the trailer over here because I wanted to go grab coffee. I went to the gas station, right? And there's an incline in there, and the machine kept sliding sideways, you know. And especially when it's on the boards, that's the problem. The boards are, you know, they're not nailed to the floor, right? So anyway, we just we solved one problem, which was the D-rings and the raised center, but then we couldn't just position it correctly. Like the machine kept the wood kept sliding when he tried to steer, you know. Like I'm in the back and I watch. It's like really easy to actually direct this because in the back it has that big tow hook. Let me see if I can increase it. You see that thing over there, that yellow thing? That's a tow hook where the aircraft is hooked up. And so I was watching that and putting that, you know, straight in the middle of my trailer, and I was standing there near the tires. But I see it starts moving to one side, and I point him, you know, like this. I said, you know, move this way, and he tries to move, and because the machine is so heavy, right, and we had a bunch of wood, a bunch of timbers on the front there because we have to raise it because of that front center. It just, the wheel starts sliding, and I go forward and we stopped every like 2 seconds. It was like so frustrating, you know. And again, what's funny is that this machine is only maybe 7 feet tall, you know, so you don't need a trailer like mine. A trailer like mine is more for, you know, very tall machinery, right? And with this thing, it's actually a big hindrance, you know. And so I put away all my chains, I tied down all my timbers. The guy drove off towards the sunset. Then I called my permit company. I said, cancel all the permits, and they said, not gonna work. Only one permit is left. All the others are already issued, so that means that she already paid for them, so she's gonna charge me now. So probably, I'm guessing $700-800 US. And then I called the broker. And I say, I want to do this. I drove 3 days to get this, and we tried all our best, you know. We were doing this since 8 o'clock. It's 12 now, you know. We only stopped once, maybe for like 10 minutes, and then we went to, you know, look for boards. And I said the only way to load this, I said there's only two options. I said option number one, I said, is load this on an aircraft and hook it up with I'm thinking 4 parachutes, and but you gotta have a very experienced pilot to just fly right above, like in this azimuth, you know, this direction, but from that side, probably no, away from the sun. Which way is the sun? Yeah, from the sun. Like follow these lamp posts and just drop this thing, I'm guessing somewhere around 300 meters. Because, you know, I used to serve in paratroops in Russia, so to me that was like the easy solution. But for some reason the guy says, I don't think that's gonna work. That would be too expensive, and you know, getting an aircraft, and then you need all these qualified people that know how to secure this, and then you need parachutes. And he says, what's option number 2? I said, well, if you don't like my option number 1, I said, option number 2 is a crane. No, because seriously, like, because that's the problem. It's too wobbly, you know. If you have a crane, you can put boards under. I can put boards on top of my raised center, right? Because it kind of like goes down on ties anyway, so I can put boards right here, you know, on top, and so it sits on that, and then I can open my outriggers and just put boards in there. So it's much easier, it's much more controllable, you know, environment when you have a crane. But I said, so he said, and this guy says, so you think it'll work with a crane? And I said, wait a second, you can find a crane? Because I said, who's paying for it? Because I'm not paying. I know it's like $2,000-3,000, you know. I said, if your customer agrees to paying, then, you know, I'm okay with it. I said, and I know that cranes often take, you know, you cannot just call a crane and it'll show up right now in 1 hour, right? You have to wait sometimes 2-3 days, you know. And I don't know if this guy will pay me for this, but today's what, 11th? You know, I really need to get to Canada because I'm getting lots of trouble with my bank, because I got money in my US account, I got no money in my Canadian account. Where the bills are coming out, people are getting angry. What's happening? Why the bill didn't go through? Well, because I'm sitting here trying to load this thing and nobody can find a parachute to load that aircraft tow tractor. So anyway, that's what's happening, and probably I'll finish it here because it's going to be a very long video anyway. So we're going to keep the suspense going. The JBT B1200 adventure will continue. Thanks for watching.